Today I'm going to be showing you guys a quick little tip for when you are painting and rendering eyes. And I mean, I have a whole series on eyes. I love to paint eyes. It's one of my favorite things to do. And that's why I have like various videos dedicated to kind of helping you learn how to draw eyes for different sorts of characters. And if you're interested in that, I have a whole playlist for it, but you can find one of those videos up here in the corner. And yes, now let me tell you this awesome quick little trick for painting and rendering eyes. So if you're wondering what that little trick is, first let's go over the structure of the eye because it's important, and we're going to be talking about how color and light kind of affect the iris in the eye. So this is the eyeball, and this is kind of like what the eyelids look like over the eyeball. Pay attention to how the pupil kind of sits within the eye, and then the iris is almost like a funnel going out towards this dome, which kind of looks like, I think of it like a contact lens over the eye, because technically that is where we would put our contact lenses on our eye, is right there, smack over the iris. And that kind of, it's like this little bulbous area, so it does catch light a bit more. Like the eye is not completely like a perfect sphere. It's kind of like a slightly unusual shape. So here we have an eye, and we have the pupil, and we have that conical shape. See how it almost looks like an indentation in the sphere shape of the eye? And then because the light source is coming from the top left, I'm shading that area because the light is only able to hit the far end of the iris. Again, we're thinking of it kind of like a funnel that goes down in towards the pupil. And you can see I'm highlighting just that area where the light might hit. And then I'm just kind of like shading off the sclera a bit. The sclera is what the white of the eye is called. And yeah, I think it's a great trick for painting eyes because it helps you get eyes that don't look flat. If you have a problem with your eyes looking flat after you render them, pay attention to this because this will help immensely. And here I am kind of like drawing eyelids over it so you can kind of see how it would look if it wasn't like, an eye out of its skull. But yeah, we're going to do another example. And another thing to note is that shadow that the eyelid casts, that can also affect the iris. And that's why a lot of times you see a shadow at the upper part of the iris that kind of falls down. And that's because the eyelids cast a shadow over the eye. So to explore that a little bit more, I've kind of like taken these parts and shown you this is the shadow from the surfaces. And then like, think of it kind of like, a cone that goes inward and kind of like comes out like this. And of course the shadow is the part where the light cannot hit, and the highlighted part is the part where the light does hit. So it's really simple. And again, this is the structure of the eye, so this is why it kind of looks like that this is how we're thinking of it in our head. So if the light comes in from the top left, then that black part is where the shadow is because the light can't hit it there. Think of it like that. So here's another example. So we're going to just like take an eye, a sphere, going to shade it very loosely, and then we're going to have the light coming from the top right this time. And I'm going to put a specular highlight on here. And I want you to notice how the light is coming from the top right. So the specular highlight is hitting that dome. Remember that contact lens-like dome? It's overlapping the shadow, but that's because as the iris goes in toward the pupil, it can't collect light, right? So remember, there's the funnel, but then there's also the dome over the funnel. So that's why you get the highlight over the shadow. By the way, I have recently started a vlogging channel as well. So I now have a art channel, which is what you are watching right now, and now I have a vlogging channel too. And the vlogging channel, if you guys know me, you know that I love to bake, I love to travel, I love doing photography, and I have a really awesome dog and sometimes she steals the show. But yeah, so that's what the new vlog is about, and I'm very excited because I've been wanting to share this part of me with you guys for a long time. It's just, art is something that is so simple and easy to share. Sharing things like my baking and my traveling is a bit more personal, personal, and I just didn't know how to share it with you guys until now. So I hope you enjoy it, and find a link for that down below and let me know what you think. Thank you guys so much. I hope you found that helpful, and I will see you next time. Bye, Nagamis.